Hey, hey. Hi, guys. All right. So, Aquarius, before I started this video, I just kind of sat in silence for a moment, and the the message that came in is sit down, sit down, sit down. I don't know. I don't know if it's like somebody telling their kid, sit down, or I don't know if it's the universe saying sit down. I'm not sure what that's about yet, but let's just see. What does that represent? What does that represent? Sit down. And it's like I kept hearing it over and over. Sit down, sit down, sit down. We have a King of Cups and we have a Five of Swords. Okay, so it's sit down so that we can either give or receive some kind of emotional offer. This is like I almost want to say sit down our our hostilities. So maybe it's set down. I was picturing sit down, but this is like, I'm going to not be hostile anymore. This could be this King of Cups who is saying, why have I been blocking this? If I sit down and stop just reacting, maybe I can find the right words to say. Maybe I can find the explanation of what I need to get off my chest. Maybe I need to quit being defensive, and maybe I just need to sit down at the table and have conversation. Let's see. Tell me about this situation. Ooh, justice. Yeah. So maybe two people do need to sit down and mediate this out. Maybe there's a lot of love, there's a lot of emotion, because that King of Cups has a lot of good vibes. But right now we got something that is way, way messed up. Somebody feels like tangled up. It feels like this is maybe one person has waited a really long time to have this get worked out. I feel like this has been a thorn in somebody's side for a long time. This needs to get cleared up. This conversation, this whatever needs to be said now. It needed probably to be said a long time ago. Three of Cups, definitely something about mediating. Nine of Cups and the Fool. Wow. There is so much happiness on the horizon. There is this ability for someone to stop being hostile. So I feel like there's a big old misunderstanding somewhere in here. But it definitely looks like we need someone else in the mix to help smooth stuff out. And then the net result is, oh my God, this feels so much better. Oh my God, like I want to dance. I feel so happy about this. Like all of that stuff, all the confusion gets wrapped up, and now we can dance our way on out. This is like, I feel this huge sense of relief. The Fool card is like, it's interesting because this is the deck that she's holding, and she has the Fool card, which is her in that groovy pink sweater, sitting right here in front of this gigantic, like it's kind of like a looking glass, like for scrying, that she sits in front of. It's just interesting because the future could be amazing. Whatever this conflict is, does not need to last. This conflict can totally get resolved. It might require someone going to an individual and saying, hey, what's your boggle with so and so? That's not what they meant, right? It may require like a friend or a confidant kind of like talking to someone and saying, hey, she or he didn't say that to be rude to you, right? There's something that has been misinterpreted and somebody got kind of hostile about it. Whoever this King of Cups is, either they said something that was taken wrong and someone was hostile toward them, and they're like, oh my God, I meant that to be so supportive. They totally heard the wrong thing. They heard it as an insult when I was like, like, let's put it this way. Somebody says, wow, you did that? And what they're saying is, I'm so amazed. Like, I had no idea you have this incredible talent. This is amazing. Versus someone who could hear it and they're saying, wow, you did that? Like, they think I'm lying. They think that I didn't do that. Oh, they think I don't have any skills. Instead of like someone just being dazzled by how great somebody is, which is how they might have meant it, the other person hears it as, oh, so they think that I really have no skills. They're dismissive of me, and it comes across as insulting. It's like, why would they think that I didn't do it myself? Or why would they have doubted that I had those skills? Why are they coming across in such a rude way? But really, tone and inflection and context could be really important here to help clear up a big misunderstanding. So I got to say, in this story, it's more about someone who, I think that somebody's had like a hard heart towards someone for quite a while, because they heard something or took it in a way where they were like, oh, I don't even want to deal with this person if that's how they're going to, talk to me or think about me. But I have a feeling that this is a misunderstanding that could get really cleared up. But it does look like it requires someone else to come in and even be like, hey, what happened? Why do you have beef with so-and-so? Or have you talked to so-and-so lately? It's like, oh no, we don't really communicate. It's like, why? They were telling me how great you are. They were telling me like you're the finest thing they've ever seen, or you're the most talented person. It's almost like somebody's going to hear this through the grapevine. Oof, when they do, it's like, I feel so foolish. Why have I been hostile? Why have I stayed away? Why did I insist that someone was not being kind to me? Okay, I gotta say, these are different decks, but you notice how this Four of Cups is suspiciously similar to this King of Cups. So we might have been dealing with a King of Cups here who was being hostile and thinking that Aquarius didn't say something nice about me. Aquarius doesn't care about me. Aquarius doesn't like me. And that may have been, someone else has to come in and be like, hey, what's up? Like, why are you thinking that Aquarius doesn't like you? Aquarius thinks you're awesome. And now this person, I mean, on one hand, it makes him feel freaking amazing. Wait a second, Aquarius thinks I'm awesome? I thought that they didn't like me. I thought that they disrespected me. Oh my God, I totally got that wrong. So on one hand, it's like, this is so exciting for this person to have this cleared up. But on the other hand, they feel kind of foolish. And I got to say, this could even be something that was a misunderstanding that led to, this could have been from a long time ago. This could have been a ghosting or something from a long, long, long time ago. Could have led to someone who, like, if this King of Cups really cared about Aquarius, but they thought they'd been disrespected, and so then they sat there hard-hearted, and that actually ended a connection or a friendship or a love romance thing. It might have been some time ago, and they're only just now discovering that they totally got that wrong. They misinterpreted something by the Aquarius a long time ago, and maybe Aquarius is long gone. This could also be that they feel so much better about this to find out that the Aquarius didn't say or think something negative about them. But on the other hand, Aquarius could be long gone. They may feel a lot of regret, like, I can't believe I messed this up by thinking something about them that wasn't true. There's something that they applied here that wasn't true. So sitting down to have a conversation was really important. Oh, but this is wonderful. You know what? We have a Hermit in the reverse. This is like, okay, now we can talk. We have Seven of Staves. We can talk about where the obstacle was, how somebody felt, and we have the Judgment. We have a reconciliation here. This can be, and this is like a wish come true, maybe for both parties. Maybe it was really confusing, because I always look at this card as something where someone's been dreaming about it, like stressing out over it, wishing that things were different, but not really knowing, how do we get through this obstacle? Well, it's happening now. We're finally able, because again, nothing can be cleared up until we have communication. So if anything was said, it's really hard when somebody shuts down because they feel insulted and now they won't communicate. But if there was ever a chance for someone to say, okay, wait a second, I've been thinking that they were saying something rude, maybe I could just ask them outright. Like, maybe if this king had simply said, why did you think X, Y, or Z, whatever it is that they got offended by, if only they had just said, hey, that was really hurtful, that could have allowed the Aquarius to be like, what? That's not what I meant at all. This could have been cleaned up and cleared up a lot sooner. So I think that the big message on this is not to leave any vibe of hostility between two people. Like, if somebody is going to say something rude, instead of being like, well, okay, so I'm just going to take that in silence, and then I'm going to harden my heart toward this person. It's almost like it's better if every time somebody is super rude, or we think that they are, to go ahead and be like, wow, did you mean it as rude as that sounded? Like, I don't understand what you just meant. And like, ask them on the spot, because somebody who's trying to be sassy and rude is going to be uncomfortable because you just called them out. But B, if they didn't mean it that way, we can quickly go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I misunderstood what you meant. I took that the wrong way because of my own stuff. And then we can own it. Like if we're the ones who said something and we took it the wrong way, or if they're the ones who said something rude, we're going to get to the bottom of it instead of wasting time driving a wedge and then having to come back around and fix things up. I think it's just about clear communication, because the Hermit in the reverse says, don't internalize stuff and try to like find the wound. And then, well, why would somebody say that to me? And, what's wrong with me? And what do I need to work on? And blah, blah, blah. That might have taken somebody down this weird rabbit hole of like isolation and not talking to somebody because they were so wounded. And they kept wondering, what did I do to deserve that? And it turns out they didn't do anything to deserve that. And in fact, that wasn't said to them. There was nothing hurtful. It does get to the heart of the matter. We walk inside this temple and we get to the heart of the matter, and we are able to have a reconciliation with someone. And I don't think it's one of those where somebody's got to like, oh, great, now I got to walk on eggshells because this person gets bent out of shape easily. No. This is like about the sensitivity of like, hey, we all come from our own battlefield, and none of us knows what the other one has been through. None of us knows that a certain sentence that we say to somebody could have been a sentence that they heard from someone who really hurt them. And we've just repeated a sentence, and maybe it was even an exact scenario, but we said something supportive, something loving, and they would never have a clue. This could be, heck, sometimes the feature that we fall in love with on somebody is a feature that they were laughed at and they were, told was ugly, and or from somebody who was jealous of them their whole life. And so in their mind, that is the thing that they hate most about themselves, and that's the thing that you've fallen in love with. And you say, oh, your cute ears, I just love them. And the person's like, yeah, my Dumbo ears. They really, all they can hear is the focus is on those ears, but they've never had somebody love their ears before. All they know is ridicule. And it's like to really make sure that sensitivity can be like openly discussed, so that person can heal and be like, wait a second, you mean you like my ears? Like I've always tried to hide them. No, I mean, it's so beautiful. Somebody was clearly jealous of what a beautiful head you have, like that kind of stuff it can help heal each other. It can make for a safer space to talk about vulnerabilities, to learn what kind of scars each person has, and to really revamp this connection to where it's something really precious, really sacred, really special, possibly better and stronger because of this misunderstanding. So I don't know. It just feels like communication is going to be super important in this storyline, super important. And it really, this time it took somebody else maybe helping to smooth things over. But the big takeaway lesson is these two are going to need to sit down, and anytime that there's something bumpy, they might need to have a chance to sit down and chit chat about it, because that way we can avoid misunderstandings with these characters. I like it. This could be all about friendship and not about lovers. This could be about a group of friends or something, but there is some kind of like really awesome like sensitivity. Instead of blowing it off like, oh brother, they're just so sensitive, blah, blah, blah. This is all handled with such grace. And it's like, no, sweetheart, like this is an awesome thing about you. I wasn't razzing you. I wasn't being sassy. Like you are so accepted, and we love you just as you are. Like that's the kind of vibe we've got here. So I don't know who's being soothed right now or what tension is being eased, but it's in this storyline, that's what's happening. And it's so nice. It's so nice to see that sensitivity. All right, I'm going to leave that one there. Thank you guys for being with me. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. As always, I am a storyteller, not a psychic, so do bear that in mind as you listen to my art. And if you do enjoy it, thank you guys for giving this a thumbs up. Thank you guys for subscribing. It's the only way my free channel can be here is with that free support. So thank you. Bye.